What police found inside this trunk left everyone speechless. It started just after 2 a.m. on a quiet stretch of Highway 59 outside Beaumont, Texas. The rain had just stopped, and the asphalt shimmered under the glow of the patrol car's headlights. Officer Daniel Hayes, a 7-year veteran of the force, flipped on his lights after noticing a gray Toyota Camry weaving slightly between lanes. A standard DUI stop, he thought. Nothing out of the ordinary. But as he approached the vehicle, something felt off. The car idled perfectly still, engine humming low, and the driver, a woman in her mid-30s, sat motionless, hands on the wheel, eyes fixed on the dashboard. Her expression was blank, too calm. Hayes's flashlight beam cut across the interior. No signs of alcohol, no frantic movement. Just stillness. "Evening, ma'am," he said, his tone casual. "You drifted a bit back there. Everything okay tonight?" The woman blinked slowly and nodded. "Yes, officer. Just tired." Her voice was soft, deliberate, almost rehearsed. Hayes asked for her license. Her hand trembled slightly as she passed it over. Jessica Cole, age 35. The name rang no bells. But as he leaned closer, an acrid, almost metallic scent drifted from the back of the car. At first, he dismissed it. Maybe old groceries or something spilled. Still, the smell lingered. "Ma'am," he said, stepping back. "Mind popping the trunk for me?" Jessica hesitated. "Why?" "Routine check," Hayes replied, though it wasn't. Something in his gut told him this wasn't routine at all. When she finally pressed the trunk release, a faint click echoed through the night. The trunk didn't open. "Maybe." Hayes gestured toward the back. "I'll take a look myself." Jessica's voice grew sharper. "There's nothing back there." By then, backup had arrived. Officer Martinez, a rookie barely out of training. Together, they circled the car. The trunk lid was slightly misaligned, as if it had been slammed too hard. Hayes noticed scratches near the latch, fresh ones. He pulled on the handle. It resisted, then gave way with a loud metallic groan. The smell hit him first. Foul, thick, and unmistakable. Martinez staggered back, gagging. "Jesus, what is that?" Hayes froze, shining his flashlight into the darkness of the trunk. A wool blanket was tucked tightly across something large and uneven. Beneath it, something pale. Too pale. Jessica stepped out of the car, arms raised, her face strangely peaceful. "You shouldn't have opened it," she whispered. Within seconds, Hayes called it in. "Dispatch, we've got a possible 10 to 54. Send additional units." As they waited, Jessica stood silently in the rain, eyes fixed on the horizon. When Hayes asked what was in the trunk, she simply said, "The truth." By the time detectives arrived, the highway was sealed off. Reporters gathered at dawn. The body in the trunk was that of a young woman, mid-20s, no ID. But what shocked investigators wasn't just the discovery, it was what else they found. Underneath the blanket was a small notebook wrapped in plastic. Inside, a list of names. 27 of them. Some crossed out in red ink. Detective Laura Benton, the lead investigator, studied the names as the sun rose over the crime scene. One detail caught her eye. The third name on the list was Jessica Cole herself. She turned to the suspect, who was now sitting handcuffed in the back of a patrol car, staring blankly at the rain streaking down the window. "Jessica," Benton said softly, "why is your own name on that list?" Jessica smiled for the first time since the arrest. A small, haunting smile. "It means I was next." The words sent a chill through Benton's spine. The rookie Martins muttered, "What the hell does that mean?" No one could answer. Not yet. Later, as the car was impounded, forensics reported something else. Beneath the spare tire compartment, a hidden compartment containing dozens of old photos, receipts, and an audio cassette labeled only Play ME. The detectives stared at it in silence. Benton felt her pulse quicken. "Get that to the lab," she ordered. But that night, as the tape began to play, everyone in that room realized this wasn't just a murder. It was something much darker. The lab's audio room was silent except for the faint hum of the playback machine. The cassette, found beneath the spare tire, was old, its label worn, ink smudged by time or moisture. Detective Laura Benton stood with her arms folded, watching the technician feed it into the player. "Let's see what Jessica was hiding," she said quietly. The tape crackled to life. At first, only static. Then a woman's voice, soft, shaky, and eerily calm. "If you're hearing this, then it's already too late." The entire room fell still. Benton exchanged a glance with her partner, Detective Ryan Mills. The voice continued, growing clearer with each passing second. "He told me to make a list. He said I'd understand when I reached the last name." The tape clicked, fast-forwarded by accident, then resumed. The woman's breathing grew heavy, panicked. "They said the bodies would never be found. But I found one. And then another. I tried to stop him." The pause. Then almost a whisper. "He's not done." The tape cut off abruptly. The technician rewound it, but the rest of the recording was blank, just dead air and static. Benton exhaled slowly. "That's her," she said. "That's Jessica's voice." Mills frowned. So she was working with someone, or covering for someone. They didn't know it yet, but this wasn't Jessica's first encounter with death, or with the police. A background check revealed a string of restraining orders, a brief stay in a psychiatric facility, and an ex-husband who'd disappeared 2 years earlier under unclear circumstances. No body, no crime, just a missing persons report that quietly faded from the system. But what shook Benton the most was the pattern forming on the list. Several of the names belonged to people who died in mysterious accidents, car crashes, overdoses, fires. All scattered across 3 states. None ever linked until now. By late afternoon, Benton and Mills sat across from Jessica Cole in the interrogation room. The air was cold, the light harsh. Jessica sat with her wrists cuffed, eyes hollow, hands folded neatly on the table. "You want to tell us what that tape means?" Benton asked. Jessica smiled faintly. "It means you're listening now." "Listening to what?" Mills pressed. "The truth," she said simply. Benton leaned forward. "Whose truth, Jessica? The woman in your trunk? The man you mentioned on the tape?" Jessica looked up at the flickering fluorescent light. "He's not a man. Not anymore." Benton exchanged a look with Mills, one that said we're going nowhere. Jessica continued, her tone almost detached. "He told me to keep the list. To remember them. I was supposed to stop when I reached the last name. But I didn't. I kept going." "Who's he?" Benton asked again, sharper this time. Jessica tilted her head slightly. "You already know." The room fell silent again, the hum of the vent echoing in the background. Meanwhile, the forensics team continued combing through Jessica's car. Hidden beneath the driver's seat, they found a small thumb drive. On it, dozens of dashcam clips, all showing nighttime footage from highways and parking lots across Texas and Louisiana. In every single one, the same car appeared, a black pickup truck, always parked somewhere nearby, engine running, lights off. But what caught everyone's attention was the final clip. It was time-stamped 2 nights before Jessica's arrest. In it, Jessica's voice can be heard, whispering into her phone camera. "He's following me again. I don't know how he finds me, but he always does. I think this is the last night." Then, headlights flood the screen. The sound of screeching tires. Then static. When Benton showed the footage to Jessica, she didn't blink. "You think he's real?" Benton asked. Jessica replied softly, "I don't think anything. I know." "Who is he?" Jessica leaned forward slowly, her eyes fixed on Benton's. "The same man who told you to pull me over." Benton froze. The words sank in like ice. "What did you just say?" Jessica smiled again, calm as ever. "Check your dashcam." At first, Benton thought it was a manipulation tactic. But later that evening, when the patrol footage from Officer Hayes' car was uploaded to evidence storage, something unusual appeared near the end of the file. At the 3:17 mark, just before Jessica's arrest, the footage glitched for several seconds. The screen pixelated, then froze on a single frame, a silhouette standing at the edge of the road, barely visible through the mist. It wasn't Hayes. It wasn't Martinez. And it definitely wasn't Jessica. Benton replayed the frame again and again, but every time she paused, the figure seemed to move, closer, sharper, more defined. It was a man in a dark coat, standing perfectly still beside the tree-line, staring straight into the camera lens. The tech team swore it was a compression error, but Benton knew better, because earlier that night as she left the station, she thought she saw the same figure standing near the far corner of the parking lot, motionless, watching. The next morning, Jessica Cole's holding cell was empty. The door wasn't broken. The camera feed showed nothing unusual, just her sitting quietly, eyes closed. Then a blink of static, and she was gone. But scrawled on the wall, in neat handwriting, was a single message. "You've reached the last name." The morning Jessica vanished, Detective Benton didn't go home. She sat in her office, blinds drawn, staring at the message written on the cell wall, "You've reached the last name." Every officer in the department was on edge. They tore apart security footage, door logs, and camera angles. Nothing. Jessica had simply disappeared. No forced entry. No sounds. One moment she was there, the next, the chief ordered Benton to step back. "You're too close to this, Laura," he said. "You've been on this case for 72 hours straight." But Benton couldn't stop. The names on that list were still haunting her. 27 total. 26 crossed out. One left untouched. One name glowing in her mind like a lit match in darkness. Laura Benton. She hadn't told anyone. She couldn't. Not yet. Later that afternoon, Benton and Detective Mills drove to the outskirts of Beaumont to search an abandoned farmhouse linked to one of the names on Jessica's list, Harold Vance, a man who'd vanished 5 years earlier. The house stood crooked against the gray horizon, windows shattered, roof half collapsed. "Why here?" Mills asked as they stepped through the warped doorway. Benton didn't answer. She just raised her flashlight and scanned the walls. Dust motes floated through the cold light beam. Then something caught her eye, faint red markings smeared into the wallpaper. Numbers. Coordinates. She jotted them down, heart pounding. The same numbers were on the back of Jessica's notebook. "Laura," Mills said, voice low, "what if she's not running? What if she's leading us somewhere?" Before Benton could answer, a sound echoed from upstairs, soft, deliberate footsteps. Both froze. "Hands where I can see them," Benton shouted, gun raised. No response. Just silence. Then another sound, the creak of a floorboard, followed by the faint hiss of static from somewhere above. Mills frowned. Static! They climbed the staircase slowly. The noise grew louder with each step. It was coming from a small bedroom at the end of the hall. Inside, an old television sat on the floor, flickering between gray channels. Benton approached, her reflection ghosted across the glass screen. For a brief second, the static cleared, and Jessica Cole's face appeared. Not Liv. A recording. She was sitting in what looked like the very same room, days earlier. Her eyes were hollow, her hair unkempt. "Detective Benton," she said softly, looking straight into the camera. "If you found this, then he's already near you." The screen cut to black. A chill raced down Benton's spine. "How?" she began, but stopped. Outside, the wind howled through the trees. Then they heard it. A car door slam. Mills ran to the window, nothing but fog and an empty dirt road. "Let's go," Benton said, holstering her weapon. "We're not staying here." As they stepped outside, Benton's phone buzzed. A known number. She hesitated, then answered. A man's voice came through, calm, deep, deliberate. "Detective Benton," he said. "You're the last name." The line went dead. Hours later, police discovered Detective Mills's car abandoned by the highway, driver's door open, engine still running. His weapon was missing. His radio was smashed. Benton's call log showed no outgoing calls, no received ones. But audio forensics found faint background noise on her phone, the sound of waves crashing. That detail changed everything.